at some point in our lives, people will leave our life, man. And what I want to tell you, don't take it personal when somebody leaves your life. Now, the few reasons why people will leave is because, they could have found somebody else to talk to. You might not be beneficial in their life anymore. A third reason is you might not need them, you might not need them. They might be bad for you, but a lot of us, we don't want to admit when a person's bad for us because, we might like that person too much, or we might like the stuff that comes with the person. Like, you know what I mean? You don't want to leave a certain person because you feel a certain way when you're around them, right? Another reason is, they could have just moved on, we outgrow people eventually. And, when we outgrow somebody, it's just like we don't want to be around them anymore. And it might not necessarily mean that they don't like you. It's just, it's kind of a strange feeling. Like you feel like you can't just be around them because of, maybe it's because of how they think or how they still live their life, or, they haven't changed at all. So you might have outgrown somebody or they might have outgrown you. But the thing is, like I said, don't take this too personal, man. If someone leaves your life, just let them leave because one, like I said the first time, if they found somebody else to like go and talk to, even though you tried your best to, keep the relationship going, or, you tried to do everything to please that person and they just found somebody else to try and replace you, let them leave, man, because one, that person, they will never be, better than how you were. How you treated this person, they will never be better because, they always say that they come back, right? They always get mistreated, and then they want to come back and be like, man, I miss you. I miss how you treated me. When can we hang out again? Blah, blah, blah. It's always going to happen. It may not happen like immediately, or it may not happen when you want it to. But there will be a moment in time where this person will miss you again because of how you treated them, or, how you just like them as a person. You had genuine vibes, right? So if a person leaves your life, just let them leave, man. Just let them leave. You don't need them anymore. Even if like they do leave and they try to come back, why would you want somebody who left you when they wanted something else, or they didn't want to stick it out with you. They didn't want to be with you anymore. So why would you even want a person like that in your life? So you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be hard because I'm kind of going through that like right now. Something similar to that. So the best thing that I've done and just in my life is just to let people go, man. So yeah, just let them go, man. So another thing is, you know, just continue on doing what you want to do with your life, man. When you become busy, just when you grow as a person, when you're doing things that you wanted to do, or when you're doing things that are gonna elevate you, you may think about this person from time to time, but like over time it won't really matter anymore. Like for me, I know like if I think about the person that left my life, right, I always think about the good situations and how I learned from the situation. So I'm not the type of person who wants to like stay sad because people in our there's people around you, like when they go through something similar, it seems like they just like to be sad. It seems like they don't like to do anything with their lives. It seems like they just want to miss a person and beg the person to come back, but they don't want to do anything to like help themselves. They don't want to go out. They don't want to find what their hobbies is. They don't want to be happy at all. It just seems like they love being sad. I'm the opposite, man. I feel like, well, what happens is when you stay busy, when you just live your life, you won't really think of this person anymore, especially like in the moment that you're doing whatever you're doing. You won't really think of the person anymore, but whenever you do think of the person, yes, you might reminisce a bit, but you'll think of like the good things that happened throughout the relationship. And that's the most important thing, is to learn from your mistakes or to learn from your past experiences. Just do something like that so you don't regret losing that person, or you don't have remorse for that person, because anybody that you meet, eventually they will leave your life. It doesn't matter who it is, man. Parents, friends, family, coworkers, certain experiences, jobs, like anything that you have, it's gonna leave your life eventually. And that's what I had to learn. I had to learn that because, like I said, everything is temporary, man. So don't get too attached on certain things. Don't get too, enjoy it while you have it, but don't get too attached, because eventually it's gonna leave your life and you're gonna have to strive to get somewhere better. And a lot of people, they don't understand that because they want to keep things to themselves forever. They want to have things, they want to cherish it, but The whole point of life is to evolve. The whole point of life is just to grow and experience things. In my opinion, that's what I think. Because everything that every day is a new trial. Every day is a trial of, are you going to get better, or are you going to stay the same, or are you going to evolve, or are you going to decrease? Are you going to do anything with your life, or are you not? So life is just a bunch of trials, and if you don't pass that trial, if you don't grow and learn from the situation, then you're never going to change. You're never going to evolve. You're never going to do anything that you want to do in your life. So keep in mind, man, people and experiences, they are going to leave your life at some point in time. And why do I say this? I say this because everybody changes. Like, we change every day. We change moods every day. We change how we feel. We change how we want to do things. Think of like all the people in college right now. You may have said you wanted to be like a lawyer, or you may have said you wanted to be a doctor. Now you may have, you may have, may have went on your journey to become those things, right? But eventually you probably changed your major because you wasn't feeling it anymore, or things got hard. Think of the same way as people. People change all the time, man. They might have said they wanted a certain goal, but once they got close to that goal, or once they was actually going to the journey to that goal, they just said, nah, I don't even want it anymore. And they just changed their path. So just think of that like people, man. They will change eventually. Now, some people, they might, write it out because it was their dream, or it's something that they really wanted. They had a reason why to stay there. They had a reason why to be with this person, or they had a reason why they wanted to, work things out. But majority of people, they're not like that anymore. So just keep that in mind, man. When you're going through something, people change, experiences change, mindsets change. So you can't be too attached on certain things in your life, man. So the moral of this video is just to don't be too attached. That's basically like what I'm trying to say, right? You can't be too attached to anything, because if you let something control your life, if you let something control your emotions, you're going to be a slave to that thing. You're going to be a slave to that person, because you're going to be like, man, I can't do this without her, or I can't do this without this. Or just think of people with addictions, right? And this is not to bash them or anything, but they'll be like, man, I can't do this without this thing, or I can't function without this. You don't want to be too attached to something like that, because it's going to ruin your life. It's going to ruin how you think about things. It's going to ruin how you treat people. It's going to ruin how you go about whatever it is, your goals or your aspirations. It's going to ruin your relationships, your family. It's going to ruin everything that you want in your life. It's going to ruin your mindset. It's just going to ruin you as a person, because you're a slave to something that you don't need. So moral of the story, man, don't get too attached. Live your life. Do what you need to do. You're going to meet new people if you really put your mind to it. I know this is so cliche, but like, focus on yourself. If somebody leaves your life, just focus on yourself. Think of the things that they did to benefit your life. Think of the things that they did to make you change as a person, and just go from there. Because what you learn from that past person, you're going to need that from the next person you meet. And I'm going to say this. Every time I met a person, like after, let's say like a breakup or a bad experience, you have like this kind of like clarity, or you can like see things in advance from the next person that you're talking to. Like, they might do something and it reminds you of how the last person would do something. So you're gonna have that knowledge from how the last person did something, and you're just gonna like approach differently, or you're just gonna do things differently because you remember how the last person made you feel. And that's just how it is. Like, every person that you meet is you're gonna learn something from them. So yeah, don't get too attached, and just keep doing what you're doing, man. There's going to be good people who will leave your life, and there's going to be bad people who will leave your life, but it's just a balance. You can't, everything is a cycle. Everything's going to be a cycle. There's going to be a cycle for your success. There's going to be a cycle for your downfall. There's going to be a cycle for when you meet people. There's going to be a cycle when you're in isolation. Just when you're in a certain cycle in your life, just remember what you learned from the last cycle, and approach it now, or approach it whenever you go through these issues. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say, man. Be safe out here and keep doing what you're doing.